We've been consistently inconsistent, and every time I think we're taking a step forward, a couple guys that take two steps back. Give Illinois credit. It was a tough week for us too, as weird as it sounds, because when you don't know who you're preparing for or what you're doing, it makes it hard both ways, and that's no excuse. It's just a fact of life that we're all having to deal with. But I thought his guys played with much more energy the first half. Brad did a hell of a job, and my guys didn't. And then second half we did, and Marcus Bingham was about the only guy that I felt played at a level that was well enough. Joey Hauser played a little better the second half. So very disappointing the way we played. Winning and losing right now, for me, I'm way beyond that. I don't worry about winning and losing as much as how we played, and so I'm not real happy with the way we played, and we'll just keep working on it.
Okay. Raise your hand with the mic right behind you, right?
Tom, this also seemed like a game offensively, especially in the first half. So that's something that has been pretty good for you guys to this point. But, you've mentioned, too, that's fool's gold counting on offense. But this seemed like a game where it really took a while to find any sort of rhythm offensively.
Yeah, we had no rhythm. I thought our point guards, we just did not get into it very good. We didn't get into stuff. We ran our break. But you turned the ball over 9 times in that first half. How do you get in any rhythm? And so it's the same old problem. Then you have 2 the second half. I mean, it's not like they quit playing. You just took care of the ball. But, in all honesty, they shot 41-31. But you hold a team to 56 points the way we've been playing, you should be able to win the game. And we didn't. But let's not kid ourselves. This is a very good team, They played all year, and Kofi is a great player. But I give credit to those other guys, Vernon and Goody played well. Kid we recruited, he played well. Payne played well. We didn't handle those ball screens very well. Our defense was very suspect in that area, but they shoot 41-31. I mean, this is a team that can light it up from everywhere. Did a decent job on Plummer. Did a decent job on Frazier. And, it goes 6 for 15, 4 for 11. Frazier goes 2 for 10 from 3. You should be able to win a game like that. But when you turn the ball over like we did, and I think points off turnover were like, 15-2. That's how you lose. So the beat goes on. The problems go away for a game, and then they come back. And that's lack of good coaching. I mean, practices are going to have to be worse every single day, because a couple of those guys, give them an inch and they just lose focus. So, when we have, it's a shame too, because I think Max learned a little lesson tonight. He got, they were getting on him probably because he's an Illinois kid, and you got to learn that's the way it is in this league. I thought the crowd was great. I thought Brad did a good job. Frazier's a hell of a player. He's a credit to the whole league, the way he came back. I got a lot of respect for him in that way, and he kind of ran that team, and he maybe didn't have his greatest shooting night, but I thought he did a hell of a job.
In the middle, in the back.
Tom, I'm curious, how much before the game did your guys find out that Kofi and Andre were going to be out? And you talked about them losing focus. How much do you think that information affected the way they came into this game and their mindset?
It's hard. We've had some practice with it, Northwestern, Wisconsin. I mean, it's everybody's going through it. It's either COVID or an injury or this or that. It's hard. We found out as we were leaving the locker room. So, but that's nobody's fault. That's why I said you got to worry more about Michigan State than you got to worry about Illinois. We got to do our job. And our job it's the first time we looked so hideous offensively. Didn't really get our break going. The fast breaks were 12-2, and I thought we did a poor job on a fast break. We out-rebound them without their giant, but I thought early in the game, they got 3 straight offensive rebounds. I guess they only got 5 for the game. It's probably more positive things than negative. I just did not like the way our guards ran our team. I thought we forced a couple of shots early, and as you say, I think you're very right. Whoever said it, never seemed like any rhythm between turnovers, bad shots, which are turnovers also, which we haven't had much problems with taking bad shots. Didn't have many the second half, so just regroup.
In the middle.
Tom, you touched on it briefly, but Max seemed to have one of his worst nights in green and white tonight, and the offense coincide also struggled. Do you think him having a strong night is the key to this offense humming?
Yeah, I mean, not to insult you, but I mean, he's maybe one of our most talented players, and that's like our media asking me, what do you think without Kofi in there? I said, you ever see him? I mean, I guess that's an intelligent question, but seems like it'd be easy to answer. Max is one of our best players, if not the best player, and he just didn't look like he was the same tonight, and still got 6 rebounds. Did some things, but uncharacteristic to shoot like that. Missed layups. In the first half, we missed 4 layups. When that happens, you look back now, how much would one layup would have made a big difference. So that's the way it works. Just like a couple free throws make a big difference.
Jeremy.
Tom, you talked about how you recruited Luke Goody, right? What did you like a lot about him out of high school?
Oh, I think Luke's a hell of a kid. Comes from a great family. He's done a great job with his body. I think they've done a great job here with his body. Made those 2 shots. It's not like he's been shooting the lights out, and so I give him credit. I give him credit, and I thought he did a nice job. I thought he played as physical as he could. We wanted to go inside with the mismatches we thought we had in there, and I did a poor job of that. That falls on me. I'm going to do a better job. I mean, we had some mismatches down there, and we didn't capitalize on them, and one of them would have been Luke in a way, but I give him credit on the perimeter. He hit those shots. He played hard. Yeah, big Luke Goody fan.
Here's the right.
Tom, over here. The last 10 minutes, it seemed like you finally got some offense going. Tyson looked a little different, and it seems like 2 straight games now he's had good second half responses. What are you noticing different from first half to second half with him?
He's not very aggressive right now. I mean, this kid's a very good shooter. Averaged 18 a game last year, and it's been hard to get him to look at his offense. I mean, I guess some ways I got to thank him because he's looking to make some passes and get other people involved, but the way they were guarding us on those ball screens, we thought he'd have a lot of 15-foot shots, and he hit a couple of them late, one of them. But I didn't think he was being very aggressive, and I think he's got to be more aggressive there. He's got to learn that. I don't like the call of the jump up in the air and get fouled. I don't like it. I think it has no place in basketball. I think guys are going to get hurt, but he's trying to challenge that because maybe he could with smaller guys, and so he got hurt on that, I think, 3 different times. I just think being more aggressive and being a little more confident. He's coming, he's growing, getting better.
Right here in the front and the left.
Coach, Trent Frazier spent a lot of time guarding Max Christie tonight. What do you think it is about Trent Frazier's defense that makes it really difficult for talented players like Max to score on him?
Well, I think Trent Frazier is, you see the difference between a 23-year-old and an 18-year-old. I mean, that's the beauty. I think, what's going to probably start happening more and more now with this great rule we have where people be getting 50-year guys, 60-year guys. And, I think another guy that gets no credit is Williams. I love him. He's just does what he's supposed to do, doesn't do anything abnormal. But, I've liked Trent Frazier since he was a freshman. I mean, he is a competitive SOB. He comes at you. Seems to be classy. I talked to him after it. I thought we did a decent job on him, but he does a decent job defensively for a guy who's not real big. I think he just plays hard as hell, and he plays physical, and he gets after it. So, yeah, big fan of his too.
Middle
Fan
front,
of a
then-
lot of their guys.
Middle front, then we have a couple, just time for another couple.
I got nothing to do.
You kind of covered it. DeMonte Williams in the first half, would you talk about the problems he caused you defensively?
Well, I don't even know what he scored. What did he score? He was 0 for 3. Isn't that great? I'm talking about a guy 0 for 3. You don't want to know why we got beat? Because their coach might be a dummy. I mean, here's a guy that didn't score, but he's their version of Draymond Green to me. He just makes little plays. He's in the right spot. He'll make a pass. Has absolutely no ego. They're lucky with all those shooters and the guys that take a lot of shots. That kid, without him, I'm not sure it'd be as easy for Brad, and then you got everybody wanting to take shots, and he just kind of fits in, just does his thing, guards really well. We said that. We said, well, how many minutes will he play? Will they start playing guys less minutes? And we all said they ain't taking him out much because they need him in there. That's how I feel about him.
In the middle?
Hey, Coach. So you spoke about Max Christie and just the tough environment that he played in tonight. What do you think he'll be able to learn from this game going forward?
Max is. I've had my share of great players. I've never had I've had a couple, but not many players that are as smooth and efficient as Max. He came in here, everybody worried about whether he could defend. He's been really a really good defender. They worried about whether he was tough enough to rebound. He got 6 tonight. But I could tell by the look on his face, it's what freshmen go through, I mean, he's actually been very consistent the last couple of weeks, but I just had a feel in the huddles. I just could see, and that's normal. That's normal, man. I mean, you guys might think everybody's ready for superstar and go to the NBA and all that stuff. It's not the normal. It's not, look at, like I said, guys guarding him were his 50-year guy, tough, older, stronger. That's what it's all about. So what do I think Max Christie will do from here? He'll watch the tape on the way home on a plane. He'll probably get up at 6:30 and be in there shooting. Just an unbelievable kid. His work ethic, his intelligence, he picks things up like that. It was a good lesson. You hope to learn that lesson with a win. But we didn't deserve to win, whether we would have won it at the end. They deserved to win. They outplayed us most of the game, and we made a hell of a run, which you got to give us a little credit for. But they deserve the win.
Here to the right.
Tom, real quick on Malik. As important as he's been to this team as a leader, how do you think he's going to handle what happened there at the end? I mean, I'm not sure. There's another guy you would have wanted there at that point, but I'm sure it's got to be hard for him. But
Yeah.
Is he maybe the kind of guy that can handle that?
Yeah,
And get through it?
Malik's another guy that's a very good student, very smart, but he has not shot well from the line. I think he's shooting 50-some%, which is odd because early in the year he was shooting like 90-some, and he doesn't get there that often. But I thought that was another mistake on our part. I think the first half Malik needed to play more. He's our stabilizer and everything, and didn't play as much. Marcus was playing pretty well, and so we were having trouble guarding their small lineups, and so I think Malik will be fine. He's a great kid, and that game was lost way before that. I mean, that's the beauty of basketball, whether you're a reporter, whether you're a parent, whether you're an AAU coach or anybody, you always look at the game and say, boy, that guy missed that free throw at the end. And you don't think nothing of the 4 layups we missed at the beginning, 2 points is 2 points if it's in the beginning, middle, or end. And I think he's mentally tough enough to handle that. Hell, his coach carried a newspaper article around for 25 years because I missed a 1-and-1 to go to the state semis. So he's got a good teacher. He's got a good guy to tell him how it sucks, but that you got to work through it.
Okay, this will be the last question right here in the middle.
Tom, I know we've talked about the turnovers a lot, but I guess the only
That's because there's been a lot of them.
well, the common thing lately is they seem to be coming early. I mean, how do you kind of get them kind of settled in a little bit earlier than they've been the last couple games?
Yeah, that's a fair question. We try to do some things like getting it inside and that. I mean, I don't know what you guys think, those of you that know me, but I've bitten off my tongue, my tonsils, and everything, just trying to keep my cool on some of the ridiculous turnovers. And I know they're not trying to do it, but I know that is the difference in this team right now. 17 against Northwestern, 20, I think, against Baylor or something. The losses have been because of the turnovers, and they should be correctable because they're not ones that. I mean, trust me, I think Brad is a hell of a coach. He did a hell of a job. He outcoached me tonight, but there were a few of them that were defensive turnovers, but there were a lot of them that were offensive turnovers, and that's what we got to correct, And we run them in practice, we hug them and kiss them in practice, we show them film, we break them all down. I'd say, mentally we got to get a little tougher, and that's what I said last week. And we did. I think they need to fear me on turnovers. People will say you can't play that way. I think we play better that way, so I'll try a new tactic this week.
Thank you, Tim. Or Tom, sorry.
Anytime.
See you, Mick. See you, man. Be safe.
All right, Illinois wins 56-55 over Michigan State. We are going to head right back out to State Farm Center here in just a couple of minutes. We will hear from head coach Brad Underwood and a couple of the Illini players as they upset Michigan State. The 10th-ranked Spartans come to Champaign and leave with just their second Big Ten loss of the season. And this win moves Illinois into sole possession of first place in the Big Ten Conference now, as they have a 7-2 record. Brett Barron's here in the studio, in our podcast studio. Like I mentioned, we'll head right back out to State Farm Center here in just a couple of minutes to catch up with the Illini. That was Tom Izzo, and a lot of compliments there about how classy of a guy Tom Izzo is, and there's no doubt about that. And as we say this, the Illini are sitting down in the post-game press conference room. Let's head right back out there to State Farm.
Is that the game ball you brought in, and what? I don't think we've seen you do that this year. What's the significance of that?
This is special. I just want to say thank you to the coaching staff, Josh Whitman, everyone who gave me the opportunity, to be a part of this, Illini family. And it's just special, to have the game ball given to me. This is home. It's been a special 5 years for me, and I'm glad, to call this place home forever.
Trent, given the circumstances of two of your most important players out tonight, what's this win mean for you guys?
I think it means the same as every game. That's what our season's been about. Next man up. Obviously, we've been battled with a lot of injuries, sickness, concussions. So that's what our season been about the whole year, and that's what it's been about. Everyone stepping up. Hell of a job, Luke Goody tonight, coming in, hitting some huge shots for us, playing with confidence. Omar, Ben, going in there, fighting those big guys. Just throwing punches all night. So hell of a team effort, and I'm just happy for these guys.
Rob.
Luke, Coach Underwood called you a tough sucker. Tom Izzo talked about recruiting you. Was that the kind of game that you were made to play for either one of those teams?
I mean, one thing that I try to bring to the court every day is just the intensity and the hard work, because Coach always says the way you get on the court as a freshman is to play defense and work hard. So that's something that I try to bring to the court every day. Do the small things that really add up, offensive rebound, defensive rebound, everything like that. But just in terms of the game, it was kind of the same mindset going into it. Just do exactly what the team needs and just work hard.
Back here to the right.
Hey, Trent, over here. I know you said this is a big night for you, being here for 5 years. Is this something that you envisioned for yourself when you first got to Illinois?
I mean, I guess you could say that. I just wanted to be a part of, a winning team. Obviously, it took some time. Coach says it a lot. You got to go through some stuff to get, to where you want to go. And I'm proud to be, a part of this team, and to be able to, be here since day one to, get this program back, winning at a high level. So, this win tonight is a culture win. This is what it's all about. Like I said, this is a special win for us. A lot of guys stepped up tonight, and like I said, I'm just happy. Everyone who played tonight, giving their all-out effort.
Alec.
Luke, you said getting on the floor as a freshman is key to playing defense, but to hit 3 triples like that in big moments, what did it mean for you to be able to do that tonight?
I mean, yeah, that's something that you work hard and practice every day for. You go through the game reps and you go through the warm-up, just getting ready for your opportunity. And Coach has a lot of faith in me. My teammates have a lot of faith in me. And, when the ball comes to me, I was ready to go tonight. And I was able to knock a quick one down. And then after that, it just felt like I was in the rhythm of the game. Shout out to Trent, did a great job with the ball tonight. All the bigs really set screens, got us open, and I was able to knock down a few shots.
Back here to the right.
Trent, I'm wondering, right over here, they didn't seem comfortable offensively for at least 30-plus minutes. I'm wondering what you were trying to do to them, and could you tell out there that they were struggling and their point guards were struggling to get them really going offensively? What was sort of the game plan to do that coming in?
Really just keeping them out of transition. They are the fastest team in this league, getting that ball out, pushing it down the floor. But in the half court, we trust our defense. I feel like we're becoming a top 10 defensive team. When we're dialed in, everyone's mentally dialed in, and we're just connected as one. I think, we really bothered them tonight. It showed tonight. They last 10 minutes, 16-4. They beat us on the offensive end, and it just shows how important, our defense is. They won us the game tonight. Like I said, Ben and Omar battled those guys down low all night. DeMonte, Jay, just hell of a team effort all around. We were connected for 40 minutes tonight, and like I said, it was special being out there playing with those guys.
Here in the middle.
Hey Luke, Coach Izzo was in here and he was speaking about the fact, obviously, that he recruited you, but also the work that you've put in to develop the body to get ready for the Big Ten season. How does that feel to get that type of compliment?
Yeah, when a potential Hall of Fame coach talks about you in that way, it's an honor. But in terms of just getting my body ready, it's all shout out to Coach Fletcher. I'm sure all of you guys are very familiar with him and how he transforms players in our program, and that's just something that I've really tried to do since I've gotten here, and that's been a main focus for me, just being able to transform my body so I can guard bigger guys like Malik Hall tonight and Joey Hauser like I had to, and just in terms of that, just getting bigger and being able to compete.
For Alfonso and Trent, what has Luke brought as a freshman? What stood out to you guys about him so far?
I would say his energy. He comes to practice every day, competing at a high level. When we're going through, scout, he gives us an incredible look. There's some times where I have to tell him to calm down. He goes for 40 in scout team. I mean, he's literally torching us. But he works hard. All the freshmen do. They come in every day, ready to work. It don't matter. That's what I like about this team. It don't matter. Those guys don't get a lot of minutes, but they come in, every day like they're starting. They're starting the next game. So hell of a job, just them just coming in, always dialed in and just giving us a look. And, just like I said, Luke Goody, he comes in with energy every day, always competing at a high level and just giving us that great energy.
Oh, you said everything. Shit. That was great. That was great, bro. Great answer. Shit.
All right, Derek.
For two guys that have hit a lot of step-back threes, what was going through your mind when you saw Luke hit one of his and just have the confidence to make that kind of shot in this game?
Welcome to the club. Just keep working on that, like the same thing, like just shooting with confidence, and I feel like he's gonna be a great shooter just like us.
Like I said, he gives us a tremendous look. We're preparing for other teams. He plays with such high confidence. Every time he gets that ball, he's always ready to shoot. And like I said, I think the confidence is a huge thing, especially for a freshman coming in as playing a high-level game. But he was ready tonight, and I'm happy for him, and he's only going to continue to get better for this team.
Scott.
Sorry. It's for Trent, if the other two want to talk as well, but just between Maryland game and then tonight, what did you maybe address defensively to maybe get back to that level that you expect this team to play?
Our connectivity.
Connectivity, yeah.
We weren't connected in Maryland game. If you watch the film, you can see that we lackadaisical, no energy. But tonight, like I said, we had that connectivity. I think that's what won us the game for 40 minutes. Everyone together. We huddled up a lot together. We talked about a lot of situations. No guy head was down tonight, and that was important. Guys came in with high energy and didn't miss an assignment. So I think that was huge for us, and our defense won us the game.
Joey.
Luke, was there any one of your shots, I mean, this was packed tonight, that you got a chance to maybe step back and appreciate everything that surrounds you, and maybe how did you kind of stay in that moment while also absorbing it?
Yeah, I mean, you go into practice every day and work hard for opportunities like that because you just don't know when they're going to come. So every time I was able to hit a shot, as a freshman, it's kind of what you grow up and dream to do. So you shoot shots like that, make shots like that in front of a crowd like that in a big game. It's just something that you work hard for every day, and you can just really appreciate it. I get goosebumps after moments like that, but just being able to experience that with the teammates and all the guys that we work hard with every day was special.
And Luke, I know with Andre and Kofi out, did you kind of get the sense you would get this much run today, and did you kind of know you'd have this big of a role coming in?
That's actually a good question. Before every game, I just prepare the same way, no matter what. Regardless of who's out, who's in, it doesn't really matter because I got to be ready when my time comes. So knowing that in the back of my head, obviously 2 guys that play a lot of minutes have heavy roles on this team. I knew that I could potentially get a bigger role tonight and have an opportunity. But, I mean, like I said, I just approach every game the same, not knowing whether or not I'm going to play, but I just got to be ready to go.
And then, Trent, I know kind of Luke talked earlier about switching. I know DeMonte was guarding Bingham on a couple of possessions. When you have a lot of smaller players able to switch and guard bigger guys, how much does that help you and kind of the defense as a whole?
It helps because therefore, we could put any player at any position. I think that's the great thing about our team. Defensively, like I said, obviously we have undersized big men, but I think it's really just the energy and effort, every guy, come in and plays with. Like I said, obviously, you got Luke Garden, 6'9" down there, 6'10", it's tough. But the energy and effort he brings is always going to win over that. And, it's not just about him just guarding a guy. We all just have to help him out and do it as a team. But that's what won us the game tonight, our defense.
Rob. Trent, where are you physically right now? Are there any parts of your body that don't hurt?
Nah. I was tired in the game a little bit, but I'm fine now.
In the back, way back.
This is for any of you guys. I've heard you use the phrase culture win tonight. I just want to know what that is to you guys. What does that mean?
I think what it means is, knowing, without Kofi, knowing without Bello, our 2 All-Americans, guys that are really important pieces to our team. Knowing, we got 3 freshmen on our team. We got Luke Goody, we guys coming in, stepping up. We knowing, when we leave, this program is in good hands. We have guys like that, that coach recruit to come here and wants to, buy into what he wants this program to be about. I think that's what it's all about, having guys that's, about this program. And, like I said, having guys out that, are key pieces, knowing we could win, without them, don't matter the circumstances. Like you said, God, he's always ready to go and, ready to step up and, make plays for this team. So I think that's what it means, for a culture win.
No answer from the other 2. He said it for any of you guys. So
He's good at this stuff. He's a veteran.
Yeah.
He can answer these questions well. Yeah.
Joey.
Luke, how did you kind of stay the course? I mean, 5 minutes a game, 6 minutes a game, to play 27 against a top 10 team shorthanded. Like, what's the key for you specifically to stay ready for those moments?
Yeah, I think the key, honestly, is just to keep a level head. I mean, like I said a few times, you just go into practice every day and you work hard, give these guys a great look, just compete every single day. That's the biggest thing. And something that I've really tried to do is work extra with Coach Fletcher, stay in the weight room and do extra, just a little bit extra workout, stuff like that, so I can be ready when my time comes. It's obviously pretty tough to be in the situation, but it's something that you kind of embrace, and it's something that I really enjoy because I know that I can make a difference for the team. So when opportunities come up like this, it's something that I can say that I worked hard for, and I'm glad that I got it.
Okay, Gabby.
Alfonso, you had 0 turnovers tonight, and the team only had 7, but you guys scored 15 points off their turnovers. How important is that, ratio in a close game like this?
Yeah, I'll be working on my game. I don't want to be just a shooter. I'll be working like on how to get better, my teammates. So I feel like I did a great job today. So I'm just going to keep doing the same thing. And I feel like we're going to be way better on the offensive side.
Okay, thank you, man. Oh, you got one more, Alec?
Yeah, Luke, earlier when Trent and Plummer were speaking highly about the things you've brought to practice and everything like that, it's hard to not see you kind of light up with your eyes and smile. What's it mean to hear these two guys, especially Trent, fifth-year seniors, been through it all here, to speak so highly of what you've brought here?
Yeah, it means a lot. When you got one of Illinois basketball's best players that's ever come through the program to speak like that about you, it means a lot. And then obviously Alfonso Plummer, one of the best shooters in the country, praising how you shoot the ball. I mean, how can you not smile about that? But credit to all my teammates, man. They all give me confidence every single day. I wish you guys really watched Kofi during the game. He's out, but he was one of the best teammates on the bench. And the things that he says, the encouragement that he gives, and I mean every single person. I was coming off the court, and I think every single person came and gave me a high five. Just that's the culture. That's another thing that the culture's about. I mean, we lost a game at Maryland, and then we come back and have a game like that. And when you got guys that buy in and really care about each other, like these two care about me, and everybody else cares about each other, I mean, you guys see what happens. We get a big win without 2 key guys, and it's huge.
Chad, last question.
Yeah, Trent, tell me what went through your mind when Malik missed that first free throw there with 0.2 of a second left?
Honestly, I was really thinking about the free throw I missed. I was kind of pissed at myself. Obviously, being a fifth-year veteran, I could have put the game away. So I know I'll be better in that situation next time. But really, I knew we won the game. So that was huge relief. I was really just thinking in the back of my mind when I got back to the locker room. Hopefully, Coach didn't catch a heart attack. It's a free throw. So, but like I said, win is a win. I'm happy. Like I said, for these guys, it's a huge win for us. And, I'm excited, to keep, progressing throughout the season.
All right. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
All right, that's the Illini players after winning 56-55. Thanks for everybody staying here with us on our post-game feed, post-game show, so to speak, as the Illini improved to 14-5 on the season, 7-2 now in the Big Ten. Once again, first place in the Big Ten belongs to Illinois now, as they are now a half a game ahead of Michigan State and Wisconsin. And Wisconsin comes to State Farm Center 1 week from tomorrow. Illinois first has a trip to Northwestern, and that's a place that Michigan State lost a couple of weeks ago. Let's go back out to State Farm Center. Here is Brad Underwood on his thoughts after the game.
I told the team, I wrote it on the board, culture win. That's what tonight was. And I couldn't be prouder and happier for a group of guys in that locker room than I was tonight. Who gave us a chance? Who would have thought? You had 2 preseason All-Americans, arguably the best player in college basketball. And but it doesn't matter how many men you're down. Doesn't matter. Man, when you got character and you got guys with that are together, and you can do a lot of things. Part of which is go almost 10 minutes and don't score, and get out rebounded 14. But you find a way. And I walked in yesterday with boxing gloves into scouting report, into film, and I told our guys that it was a heavyweight fight and it was going to be 12 rounds, and you're probably going to get knocked down, and you're going to get up, and you're probably going to get knocked down again. Then it's about how many times are we going to do that. And it won't be easy. I told them the game would be ugly. I think we had something to do with that, and then they had a lot to do with it in the second half. I thought Luke Good was phenomenal. not just because he made threes, but I thought his defense was great. He came at the last rebound, flew across the court to get that, and then I thought that Ben and Omar fought. And I thought Ben, in particular, gave us tremendous physicality. They hit a couple of shots early in post-ups. We knew that's what they would do. Other than fouling too much, to hold them to 3 threes, our goal was to hold them under 4 threes. They're elite in transition. But one was Bingham. We missed an assignment on Hauser, and Gabe got one in transition. To hold that team to 3 threes, I'm pretty excited about. I'd take that every night. But to beat a team like Tom's teams, and it's a heavyweight fight. There's nothing easy. You know exactly what they're going to do, and I thought we did a great job of guarding it. The foul line was something that hurt us, but we just found a way. Trent Frazier was huge. Got us going in the first half. Plummer hit a big shot. And kind of kept us at bay, and then we were fortunate down the stretch.
Brad, you don't score the last 5 minutes. You mentioned that. What happens to the offense during that stretch? What caused that? And have you ever won a game where you didn't score in the last 5 minutes before?
Probably. Jake got 2 or 3 really clean looks. I thought DeMonte had a layup that he tried to dump off to Ben. It was a layup. There wasn't anybody in front of him, and he just passed it. They were topping Plum, so we knew it was going to be hard to get him a look. And then Trent was being hard hedged, but we got downhill a couple times. They made terrific defensive plays. They're an elite shot blocking team. I thought once Plummer got by on the layup, he never misses that, and they come out of nowhere to block it. So I didn't feel like we got bad looks. I thought they made really good plays, and then we missed a few shots, and that puckers you up a little bit on the other end. But it just happened to be enough tonight.
Brad, what do you have to do as a coach? You obviously challenged them a little bit after Maryland, where you said they didn't have a lot of fight. So how do you, as a coach, get this kind of response out of them?
I didn't have to. I hope you guys understand that was an off day after Maryland on Sunday. And is that right? When it was Saturday. That was an off day. Every single player was in the office or was in getting shots. And they were ticked. And they had they knew. They knew. And I've said it since the first year I got here. If I have to lead all the time, then we're not going to be very good. Those guys knew. And we've been great. We were great in practice. We were focused, and they were embarrassed. And when they saw the film, and we had a lengthy film session, they didn't like what they saw. And that wasn't us. And we didn't deserve to win, and we didn't.
Coach, we've asked you this question before, but maybe it has a little more effect tonight with Trent getting that new accolade. What does he mean to this program?
Lifetime contract, if I can give him one. I don't have. I'm going to dread senior night. I'm going to dread that last one. He's absolutely everything that we're about. He's everything that I want our program to stand for. He's a guy that is probably sacrificed for others so we could win. You talk about an elite scorer who's become a elite defender and still kept his scoring, and now runs our team and has been elite. And so I'm an extremely happy coach that he's on our team, and he means a great deal to us.
You're the right.
Brett, they did their point guards especially. They didn't run much good offense. They didn't look comfortable on offense, I should say, for about 30 minutes at least. What did you set out to do, and what were you able to do to those point guards and to their offense to keep them from ever finding it?
Well, I thought the one thing was the first thing is keep them out of transition, and you've got to do that. Michigan State's one of the elite transition teams. We had a little segment in the first half where they got going and Gabe hit one and I think had an and one. But I thought we guarded their actions. I don't think it was as much their point guards as it was, maybe they run a lot of pin down screens. They run a lot of what we call floppy action. I thought we guarded that pretty well and made them shoot some contested shots. I thought Bingham was effective on the block. And, we knew at halftime that we were going to see a steady dose of post-ups, and without Kof, that's, kind of been the recipe. But, I thought we did a good job. And, I hope our defense had a lot to do with making them feel uncomfortable and shoot a low percentage.
Derek?
Coach, going into tonight, Luke had only made one shot since the St. Francis game. What does that say about him staying ready and his confidence, and what have you seen out of him to be able to do this tonight?
Yeah, he shoots it every day, and he works. And the hardest thing for freshmen is to understand that when you go to practice, most days you're helping your team. You're not helping your own game, and you have to do that. And Luke's that guy that gets extra work every single day. He gets an extra lift every single day. He shoots 1,000,000 balls. He's on the scout team. He doesn't run our plays a lot usually. He's running what the opponent does. And yet he's cerebral. He's tougher than heck. And, I feel like, I thought tonight early we had really good looks that didn't go in to open the game. And I said, okay, we're going to get some looks. And sure enough, it ended up being the right move, and he jumps up and knocks him down.
Yeah.
Brad, when Tom was in here, the one guy he said he loves is DeMonte Williams. So on a culture night win, just what did he bring to you for 27 minutes?
Well, let's see, he guards guys 10 inches taller than him, 6 inches taller than him, stronger than him, the point guard. There's a reason Tom and I are really, really close and good friends, and we think alike, and we have a lot of the same things are important in terms of grit and fight, and they may not show up on a stat sheet, but they do show up on the important one, and that's the left column. And again, you're talking about a guy that nobody believes in DeMonte Williams more than Brad Underwood. And I don't care what he does offensively. I don't care. He's going to usually make the right play, and he's always going to fight like heck.
Right in the middle.
Hey, Coach, so you talked about Luke Goody and how his play just beyond hitting those triples were big for you guys tonight. Talk to us about that play that he made when he got that open look for Alfonso in the corner.
Yeah, it's just a play. We were trying to put guys in the right places based on their coverage, and we know where they support from. They support in a low hold, what we call a low hold, and the play was a high shake, and we threw it back to him, and he just makes a quick and one, to Plum, and that ended up being a big shot. It kind of stopped a little momentum for them, but he makes a lot of right plays, just simply with his feel and his IQ of the game.
Scott?
I guess with Andre playing at Maryland, maybe under the weather with the fever, when did it reach the point where he had to go into the protocol? And did you think about not playing him when he was feeling sick last Friday?
Those conversations, and again, you guys been dealing with me for a couple of years now. I'm not going to talk about specific guys and their situations. He and Paul talked, felt like he was able to go at Maryland. We played him sparingly, and compared to what he had played. And you talk about a young guy that I just feel sick for. I mean, my heart aches for Andre Curbelo, and he just needs to catch a break. And they do what our university policy is and CDC in terms of coming back, and he didn't feel, I don't want to say worse or better, but then as they move through, they go through our protocols and our health and safety issues, and that's still where he's at, and we'll deal with that. You guys, I said it yesterday or the day before. I talked to Paul. I talked to our doctors. I don't intermingle, and when they say can't go, I literally do not ask a question. It is too much for me to think about when I've got to control a basketball team, and I worry about the guys that are going to be there. And doggone it, we didn't have him tonight. I feel bad for him. We didn't have Kofi tonight, but the situation is what it is with both those guys. And when they're back on the court and they tell us that they can go, we'll welcome them back with open arms because they're two of the best players in America.
In the middle.
Coach, career high for Io yesterday, and now he's back in the building in Champaign tonight. What does that mean for you to see him again on an off day?
Well, I wanted to see him after the game and tell him what a dumbass sixth foul he had, but geez, you can't commit that one when you're playing as well as he's playing. But what a young man, and he was texting me all day. This was a game that meant a lot to him last year. He got knocked out, and it impacted him. He called this afternoon. He said, "Coach, I need some tickets. Whatever you need, young man." And he's having a phenomenal year. He deserves it. He's worked hard, and I watch every game I can. And he was just nothing short of spectacular last night.
Brad, given the respect you have for Tom and they like similar things in players, do you have an extra bit of oomph when you win one over him, like with Luke and Ty?
It's not because it's Tom. It's because you got to understand. I mean, when you're a Daytona Beach Community College, and you watch the Final Four and Tom Izzo's in it, and now he's across from you, and you've really gotten to know the guy, and what he stands for. It's not just him. He's just great dude, but it's the program, and I envy that. I mean, you let me have one program in the country, I want to be like that one. And the stand for the things that he stands for, and the way he's done it, it doesn't mean anymore. It means something to the fact that maybe we're getting a little bit in the same realm with them, and that's why the culture win tonight. Always remember this game because of that, and not just who didn't play, but the guys that played. And who we beat, and to me that probably means as much as anything.
Joey?
Brad, there's been a few times where you said I probably could have played Luke a little bit more, especially in this last month or so. Did he make it kind of difficult for you to moving forward?
He was terrific, absolutely. I mean, I don't think it's, you guys would have probably been in here questioning the hell out of me if I didn't play him. It was that obvious. I mean, he was terrific. I guess. You worry a little bit about his minutes because of fatigue or the physicality, but Luke is physical. The football side of that helps, and but he was spectacular, and he's earned that right.
Scott?
If treating Maryland as a one-off defensively, was there just one thing maybe you saw early tonight that had you think, okay, that's the defense that we can play?
Just activity, talk, communication. We played extremely selfish on the defensive end against Maryland. We're in gaps. I mean, the hardest thing to do in basketball is close out. It takes three people to guard a closeout because you've got to be in the gaps, not just the guy guarding the ball, but you got to give that guy some help and some support. We were off hugging our man and just running around and we were really selfish and part of that is mentally we weren't very sharp, but physically we were just slow and late, and again, one off tonight. I knew we'd have good energy because we practiced great.
Hey, Brad, so how did that lift from the Orange Crush feel for you guys tonight?
I love them. They're the best. It's funny because I talked to a guy who's my I've known him forever, And he goes, man, I love watching your games because of your student section. And he goes, when did you guys start school? Because he goes, I noticed you didn't have them your last game. I said, well, they'll be there tonight. And they are special. And, they do so much for the community. And, students create the environment. And they create the energy. And they create the buzz. And they're the best.
Yeah.
Brad, beyond the 4 fouls, take that away. If you can get that out of Omar every time, am I wrong to assume you might be thrilled?
Yeah, other than the really bad foul
Right.
going over the guy's back from 75 feet and put him on the foul line, absolutely. And he's got more to give. I ran a post-up play to him tonight. I haven't ran a post-up play for him all year. And, he's just jumped up and scored it. And he's getting more confident, and he's playing great. And I debated about starting him, but I love Ben's physicality in the game tonight, so I went that way, and both those guys were great. And that's through this process, we've gotten better because those guys and Luke and we've seen a maturation happen that will help us as we move on.
Joy.
Brad, understanding that you guys had a COVID pause earlier this month, is there any level of concern just now that Andre's in protocols given the airplane and a locker room in Maryland for the next week or so as this kind of plays out?
Well, we mask up and do that at a really high rate. He has not been around, so and I don't know with exact number of guys. We had 10, so I think we're in a pretty good place for the most part of guys that should have an adequate build up to it. So yeah, we'll say our prayers.
Andy.
I know you kind of talked about that maturation of Luke and Ben. I mean, I know there are a couple guys who a couple weeks ago were only playing a couple minutes a game to now they're playing over 20 minutes and are big kind of parts of the lineup. How much does that kind of say about them to be able to jump up and step up as quickly as they have?
Yeah, they're really good. I mean, Luke, I've said it many times. I'll be shocked if Luke Goody's not a 1,500-point scorer here, and he's got those abilities. And he's a really good player who's got really good players in front of him, and he's been able to learn because he hasn't been forced to have to go out there and fail and perform. He's been able to learn and see, and he's taken that under his hat and just just continued to work. The great thing about Luke Goody is his work ethic. I mean, he speaks volumes. He's in every day challenging Fletch for more. I just want more. He wants, he wants his junior year body now, which doesn't happen, but he's working toward that.
Anything else? All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
All right, one more time, 56-55, the final from State Farm Center as Illinois improves to 14-5 on the season, 7-2 in the Big Ten, and this was their best win of the season, no doubt. Really not even close when you start to look at the statistics. Their quad one win, which is what the selection committee uses to look at their resume. They only had one other one, and that was at Iowa. So their best win of the season. And like I said, it's really not even close for what it is. And they are now in first place in the Big Ten as we welcome you back in here to our podcast studios. Brett Barron's here on 509 South Neal Street in Champaign, where we tape all of our podcasts. And we will have a 3-in-1 podcast coming up a little bit later after the newscast as Andy Olson gets set to get his highlights back here to the studio, and he'll have a recap story coming up on the news at about 10:20 tonight as Illinois is celebrating its best win of the season. And they did a really nice job tonight to really hang on in the end. And when you go back and look at this game, they only scored 4 points the final 9:46 of the game and only one field goal in that time. There was 2 free throws. And that's it. Trent Frazier misses the front end of a 1-and-1 with 6 seconds left. It would have all but iced the game. would have made it a 3-point game at that point if he would have made both free throws. And Trent Frazier, obviously a very good free throw shooter, but he misses the front end and gives Michigan State a chance to go down the court and potentially win the game with a 3. And they draw a foul with 0.2 seconds left. And yet they get a little bit fortunate in that sense at the end that Malik Hall misses the front end of that 1-and-1 free throw chance for Michigan State, makes the second one, and that's where we ended 56-55. Not enough time for Michigan State to foul, and the game's over. But Illini Nation will certainly take it for what it is as the Illini sneak out of State Farm Center with a win. They led by 15 points with 15 minutes left in this game. Played a very nice first half. We're up 34-20, and all systems were a go. But I think most Illini fans probably felt that Michigan State was going to come back. They're far too talented of a team to just send it in. And so they did. They mounted a big-time comeback. And like I mentioned, with Illinois only putting up 4 points, the final essentially 10 minutes of the game, 9:46. They're lucky to escape with the win, and they got out-rebounded big time. Illinois only made 3 free throws in the game, and you're just not going to win many games doing that. But they were able to survive and advance, and now they head to Northwestern Saturday, 3:30 tip-off in Evanston. And Northwestern's a team that beat Michigan State, so we'll see. I don't think it's going to be necessarily an easy game. It's never easy in the Big Ten, especially on the road. But this is a big-time performance for the Illini and one of those just resume checkers for Illinois to get this and really have that on their resume as we head towards March. And look, I know it feels like the dead of winter. It's freezing outside, right? But Illinois is essentially, after Saturday, I mean, right now they're almost halfway through the Big Ten schedule. After Saturday, they will be exactly halfway through the Big Ten regular season at 10 games. And they're going to control their own destiny. And so it's a nice place to be for the Illini. All right, that's going to wrap it up here on our WCIA 3 post-game stream. Thanks so much for tuning in on our digital channels. Plenty more to come here on the news at 10:20. Hope you can join me on air for sports then. We'll hear from Brad Underwood and the players. Tom Izzo with some very complimentary things to say about the Illini. And Brad Underwood saying back to Tom Izzo, I want to be your program. And Izzo's a Hall of Famer and won a national title, and the last Big Ten national title at that for the conference. So thanks so much for watching here. We will see you once again on these same digital channels Saturday for a small pregame show in Evanston. And then we'll have the postgame feed once again. Every game this year, we will be at home and away for the Illini, offering you an inside chance to hear from the team before anybody else. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Brett Behrens. We'll see you again next time on the WCIA 3 postgame stream.